Hi, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let me find the title to be on the bottle, Global Good with doTERRA. I really wanted to do this class because I think there's so much behind the scenes going on with doTERRA that we really need to talk about it more and make sure people are well aware of what's happening with doTERRA. So hopefully this will give you a little bit of a little peek into it. There's more than what I'm offering here today, but you can always do some research on your own. But I'm Teresa LIsum. I have my business friend here, Norley Seymour. We work together on these classes, and we want to thank everybody listening in and our attendee. Thank you so much for being here. So let's see if I could share my screen. Need to share my sound, get that going because I will have a little video to play. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, hang on. There we go. Okay, you should see a welcome slide.
Yes.
Okay, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to hit present. I'll try it for a minute and see if it works. If it doesn't, then we're going to back out of it. Sometimes I can't get it to advance forward. Okay, so it's all about the pursuing the pure love of humanity, which I truly believe that's what doTERRA is all about. One of their philosophies. So we're going to be talking about the Healing Hands portion of the company, the Healing Hands Foundation. And we're also going to be talking about co-impact sourcing. They go together. Sometimes in my mind, they are one, but they're actually two entities. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Norley. It's really hard to maybe tease them apart, but I'm going to try to give some information about each one of them. Okay, so Healing Hands is the charitable arm of doTERRA. They are very proud of it. They do a lot with that foundational part, but this is part of their mission to empower people worldwide to be healthy, safe, and self-reliant. I think self-reliant is the key piece here. We don't just go in and give handouts. We go in and teach people how to fish, basically. So this is a little list of things that the Healing Hands Foundation does. Support children, empower women. They are very good at empowering women and supporting children. Like, to me, that's very prevalent and very obvious. We have a lot of women partners in other countries that harvest, gather. I don't know if they're part of the distilling process or not, but they are like the cash cows of their family. They're the ones doing the work and bringing in money for with doTERRA for their families. So I think that's a beautiful thing that doTERRA is doing. Disaster relief, self-reliance, as I mentioned, anti-human trafficking, that's a priority for them as well. Clean water is a priority, and global health in general. I do truly believe they are healing the world little bits at a time. Now, this is a video. We're going to give it a try and see if it comes up or not and see if you can hear it. It's only like a minute or two long. So let's give it a go, see what happens.
doTERRA is more.
Is that good?
And that's
okay.
Because of your commitment to only using pure essential oils. We go straight to the source in 45 nations across the globe. Together, we're providing opportunities for and building relationships with farmers and harvesters. And as we do so, they share the needs, hopes, and dreams of their communities. Because of you, doTERRA Healing Hands can fund projects that provide access to education, meet healthcare needs, and ensure clean water and sanitation. Together, we're tackling some of our world's most challenging dilemmas. Thank you for teaming with us to provide relief in the wake of disasters, empowering women, offering tools for self-reliance, and in the fight against the horrific reality of human trafficking through the doTERRA Healing Hands Network. And as you share your strengths and desires to make positive, sustainable change with others, choosing to engage in good in your communities and across the globe, remember that doTERRA Healing Hands is here to help you magnify your impact. Because of you, the world is changing. One drop, one person, one community at a time.
Yes. Thank you. I so believe that. I am so aligned with their mission. Um, anything you want to add, Norley?
It's just amazing how quickly in disaster times that they are out sending out the 72-hour relief kits to the areas and getting them out to the people. And they just really do empower the families in all the areas that we work in. And that's something you don't see very often in other companies, is they empower the people that work for them.
Yeah, and encourage that self-reliance. And sometimes I can get real emotional about it because it's really affects me a lot. I really appreciate what they're doing, and I am honored to be part of it. This is, and I don't know if you're seeing, can you see the whole thing, or I had to move you out of the way, so I don't know if you.
Yep.
You can see the whole thing. Okay, so this is what some of the things they do. We already mentioned everything on the left. This on the right tells you a little bit about they are financially responsible. 100% of the donations go to aid, which I really like. Sometimes when you give money to charity, it's only a portion of it that goes to the actual people who they say they're giving the money to. Some of it goes to marketing, some of it goes to advertising. You know, I get stuff in the mail all the time, my husband especially. We get sent all of this free stuff that had to cost a fortune for them to send out the massive amount of people. So that means they're taking some of their donation money and using it to send out all these freebies. That kind of annoys me. I will admit that. It's like, take that money and do some good with it. Don't just advertise it. You know, use it to advertise. So I really respect the fact that doTERRA takes 100% and does whatever they're going to do with it in terms of their projects and their relief funds and stuff like that. And they really do have results. I guess we'll see what this one is. I want to see how long this is. If it's too long, I might. That's only 2 minutes. You okay watching this? If not, I'll stop it.
Yeah. Nope, it's good.
As it is now, could not exist without our co-impact sourcing communities. Now, I know sometimes it seems like, well, what's a dollar going to do? What's my dollar going to do?
We love the idea that we're going to give 25 and repeat, because we know that number is going to make an impact. And we give it to Healing Hands without hesitation, because we know that money is going to get into the hands of the right people in the right place at the right time.
doTERRA Healing Hands is truly an amazing organization. They are so diversified in the ways that they help people globally.
But just imagine if 100,000 wellness advocates donated $25 every single month for an entire year.
When I hear Corey Lindley and Emily Wright talk about tripling our impact, I get so pumped. Where these funds are going or where they're best and most needed.
We have an opportunity to help provide for them things we take for granted.
And that is when we feel the most alive, when we feel the most joyful, is when we're giving more than we can even spare.
Every single order that I place every single month, I check the box to donate $1.
Think of most of the places where we source oils and what kinds of poverty exist there. If you haven't seen it, I have. It's real. It's there. Trust me. We're making a difference. We need to make a difference.
I have confidence in knowing that that money supports a great cause, which has blessed my life tremendously.
It's a way to express gratitude. By giving, you can't help but be in a state of gratitude, and gratitude is an enabling power.
Being a wellness advocate is what we do. Being an impact advocate, that is who we are.
I know that we all have good hearts. I know that we want to help someone else.
It feels so good knowing that our donations empower women and families all over the globe.
We believe in giving month after month through the Healing Hands Foundation. Remember, giving is the way you receive more than what you already have.
Always give without remembering, and always receive without forgetting.
It's an incredible gift that we get to be a part of this, and it's so easy to do.
We can triple our impact in every way, including our healing donation.
They're giving, and there's so much joy in giving.
I am an impact advocate. I invite you to be one too.
Our impact is great. 3 reasons I give. It's super easy. I give to give back to those who gave to me. And the third is because doTERRA Healing Hands is truly amazing.
And we can't thrive as a business, as wellness advocates, if those individuals and communities are not thriving too. Let this be your way of saying thank you to those communities and paying it forward for generations to come.
Okay, thank
Hey,
you.
doTERRA World
Oh,
Changers.
sorry. Stop.
Newsflash.
Stop. Sorry about that. So yeah, you can tell people are very passionate about their money that they're donating. These are some of the relief kits that Nora Lee was speaking about. They get these out to the right places within 72 hours. They have like necessities in there: shampoo, soap, toothpaste, bandages, a towel. You can see them all here. Tea tree to roll on boo-boos, wounds, whatever. So there's an essential oil roller that is really good for so many things. So I love that that's in there. And yeah, we can purchase these. We never see them. They are, donated through whoever does that for doTERRA. But it's very easy to purchase those. You just purchase it just as if you would purchase that bottle of tea tree. The rose lotion, if you purchase that, do you know the price of that off the top of your head, Norley? Is that 20
I
bucks?
do. I think it's 25 now, but
Okay. So that if you purchase that entire amount is donated to Healing Hands. So it's not just like 10% or 20%. The entire value of that bottle is donated to the Healing Hands Foundation. I love that. And then there's that bottle of hope. Is that the same thing with the hope too, Norley? That entire amount is donated? Okay.
yes.
So
And
this
that
is,
hope smells so good too.
yeah, so the hope was made specifically for the trafficking priorities that they had in place. It's a special blend that doTERRA put together to help those particular people, those children, those groups. Where did the one go that talks about? I'm sorry. Hopefully it's coming up. You just check a box when you go to place your order to donate. And we're just showing you some other ways of making your donation. So this is just talking a little bit about the hope. Fighting against human trafficking. And I'm not going to really talk too much about this, but I just think it's cool that they developed this whole blend specifically so they can donate to that cause. Let's see, they've donated 10. How much? What's this number right here?
10 million.
I thought that's what that was. Didn't want to say it. I was going to embarrass myself if I said it wrong. But over 531,000 just in 2022. So this is not as updated as I would like it to be, but that's a lot of money.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong about this, but I think they give out some of the hope to the people that they rescue.
I believe you're right. I believe you are correct there.
And so that it gives them the hope, and the oils help them with their mood and so forth.
Right. And I hope I didn't bypass that graphic that shows you how to check the box. And it might be coming up. I might have passed it, but you can purchase those products knowing that your money is going 100% to these different causes. Also, when you place your order, there's a checkbox that says Healing Hands donation. You just check the box, tell them how much you want to donate, and they'll take your money that way as well. This is just a real quick one way that they help. Here's, like we said, disaster relief. If there's an earthquake, if there's, I know in Nepal a couple years, well, it was probably years ago, there was an earthquake. They immediately went to Nepal and started helping out there. So I'm guessing this round of tornadoes that went through yesterday, they'll be sending some people out there. This is another, they have a matching project where people such as ourselves can come up with a project, like a local project that we want to raise money for and connect with doTERRA. They typically approve them, from my understanding. You just fill out a form and then they will match whatever you come up with in terms of donation. So if you are able to raise $500, they'll match $500. So you're doubling your contribution to your particular project. If you come up with 10,000, they will match 10,000. So I think that's really very cool. So anybody could submit a project and get approval from doTERRA that they will match your donations that you bring in. Here's another, I don't know, what time is it? I'm not sure if I want to go. If we have time, I'll come back to this one. But this is all about a person who benefited from Healing Hands. Let me see how long it is. I tried to pick this is a 3-minute one. I tried to pick really, really short ones, but I'll cut it off if I feel it doesn't need to go the whole way. So this is over in Kenya.
My dream in life is everyone in life needs to succeed. For me, I'd like to go far in education, like college and study, so that I could get an employment and help my parents at home, so that they could live a good life.
My family was very excited. My grandparents, they are farmers. And while they were planting these trees, they are just doing it. Let's just do it and try. So when I finished my class 8 and they heard about the sponsorship, they never thought in their mind that if they plant these trees, I as their grandchild will get the sponsorship. So they are very much grateful.
I was born in a family of 9, and I was the only child managed to go to high school, and then I got the doTERRA scholarship. And thank you so much for that. Yeah, if it were not you, then whether I could have managed to complete my high school level.
Here in Lunga Lunga, the drinking water sources are very salty. And so we have this system here, which we're using to treat the salty water for our employees working at the factory, for our smallholder farmers, and also supplying Momote Primary School, which has about 1,000+ school-going children. We're treating water and it's filling up those 4 tanks behind us there. And then from those 4 tanks, we're able to pump the water to Momose, which is about 2 kilometers from this particular facility. We had inadequate supply of water in this village.
We appreciate so much because the water is clean. We appreciate your commitment. We appreciate your efforts of supporting this school.
In my future, I look forward to go back to my community and look for the single parented kids and help them, just like the way doTERRA helped me.
Momose has changed, has become another town because of the things that were brought in this school. I thank the Healing Hands and doTERRA for the match they have done to our school.
I love that. We take for granted so much what we have. We forget that other people don't have clean water and water that comes right into their house. And we also take for granted that we have access to education. I think in many other countries, they have to pay for their education. So, again, that's very, very emotional for me. This is when there was those fires in Maui, what, in 2023? Is that when this was? Yeah. It burned this mountain reserve, and I'm not going to say the name because I'll just butcher it. But it was referred to as the KMR. And doTERRA is going in and replanting all these trees. So 10,000 trees actually all over the island. And people can actually go there and help replant these trees. And I love that the doTERRA is in there doing that for the ecosystem, I should say. And just, again, money is being funneled to these trees so they can be replanted to replace all those that were burned. And you can see the numbers here. I'm not going to go into that, but here's where we're trying to tease apart co-impact with Healing Hands. I don't really know if this is going to do much for us, but co-impact is the way we partner with farmers, harvesters, distillers in all these different countries. And we don't just go in and buy up the farms and then start dictating things. We actually go in and see who wants to work with doTERRA, and then we pay them on-time wages. There is no middleman, which that is typically what happens out there in the essential oil world. There's all these middlemen that go in and take advantage of farmers and then, really undercut the price of the oils or the plant materials. And then once they undercut those and basically cheat the farmers out of what they really should be getting, then they take the oils and they adulterate them and add to them and cut them so that they can make more profit on it. So if they dilute down the essential oils, they can make more money because they could sell them, in bigger quantities. doTERRA does none of that. And I'm sure you have something to add to that, Norley.
I just think that the way they go in and empower the people to improve their own lifestyle as opposed to dictating to them. And they are truly partners as opposed to being, I work for you.
Right.
It's truly a partnership, and they respect them as people and as communities. And that's what I think sets them apart, is that they respect the people.
Yeah. And they don't, like you said, they don't work for doTERRA. They work with doTERRA. And I know there's other essential oil companies out there that say, well, we have our own farm. We own our own farms. We grow our own whatever. Yeah, we don't do that. We'd rather empower these people in these countries that need the economy and the income and the education and the training, and we partner with them, which I think is a beautiful thing. So we're uplifting the entire family, all the community. It's not just like going in and buying up their property and so let's see, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, here's fair treatment, providing fair treatment. So they're generating jobs, fair and on-time payments. And from my understanding, these middlemen would buy one time with them or twice, and they would get their income would come in one bulk, amount. And then the rest of the year they're on their own. Whereas doTERRA make sure it's done in a timely fashion. And from my understanding, they generate this income for the entire year, not just that one time, that one point in time. Okay, here's a little bit about, and I don't know if that's big enough. So we're generating jobs, fair and on-time payment. We've already said that. A long-term partnership. Again, we just don't go in, buy up the essential oils and leave, bye, we'll see you next year. It's a long-term partnership. It's like a cooperative. So it's a cooperative system. And then doTERRA is very conscientious of, taking care of the land and making sure things are sustainable. They will not bring out an oil unless they can make sure it's sustainable far into the future. They're not going to go in. I'm just going to use lavender as an example. I don't know if lavender is really a true one to use, but go in and we're going to harvest all the lavender and just decimate everything and we're going to move on. You know how that happens. They're going to make sure it's sustainable for the long term into the future and still get the quantities they need. So they're very conscientious about that. And the last couple of years, they've been very conscientious about their shipping practices and what they're packing in. They're trying to make things very recyclable. So I love all that. Let's see if there's anything here we need to talk about. Responsible, sustainably sourced. I think this is pretty redundant here, so I'm not going to go into this. I love this slide. This shows all of the countries in the world where we get oils. It was over 40. I don't know what it is now, but they just kept adding more countries and more countries and more countries. So this is a really cool map. And then each one of these countries, it tells you what we get at each one of these. So there's countries where we get multiple oils. And so the purple is where we have our partnerships. And again, feel free to jump in, Norley, if you have anything you want to share. These are some of the oils. So when you open up an oil and you know where it comes from, for me, it kind of makes me appreciate it more because there are actual people behind this bottle that helped me get this bottle. If it wasn't for those people on the ground at that origination point, it wouldn't be so easy for me to open up a lid and use this oil. So these are some of the bottles, the oils, and where they come from. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Again, some more things, some more different projects, the different amounts of jobs. You can see the numbers here. Here's where they helped in Nepal after the earthquake in 2019, $2 million. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You can read for yourself. Vetiver is from Haiti, which from my understanding, they really need the income generated from this oil. And you'll see a lot of wells and running water, clean running water is part of the whole doTERRA thing that they do. Again, I'm not gonna read all this. I'm gonna let somebody jump in. Ethically source the oils. I love the word ethical. Ethically source. That's what we do. Any comments here? Again, you can read the numbers on your own.
It's just amazing at the number of people that they are striving to be able to help that have not been helped to this point. And each year they want to help more and more people in all the areas where they source. So they're continually looking for projects that they can do.
Right. Again, it's not a one-time deal, go in and leave. It's an ongoing thing. And my next one looks a little bit out of order. So we're just, oh, it is out of order. Okay, I gotta exit out of this and see what's happening here. Let's see. So that's why when I put it in present mode, sometimes it skips around. And I don't know where I'm at. Oh, maybe that was it. It seems to me there was another slide or two that should have been in there, but I don't know where they're at. So, oh well, you got the bulk of it. But I do want you to know that we do have another 2 classes coming up in the next 2 Mondays. We're going to talk a little bit about a challenge that is coming up. I'm actually going to learn more about it tomorrow. And then the following Monday, why doTERRA? I do have to say, I love giving doTERRA my money because I know what they're doing in the background, like we just showed you here today. I feel like I'm really voting with my dollars. I am voting for doTERRA. I am supporting them. I am helping them help the world. And I'm just a small little cog in it, but it still allows me to feel really good about where my dollars are going. If I go into the local stores, I don't know where my money's going. Like just pick a store that you frequent, and you're buying the products. I understand that, but are they taking any of that money and sharing it with the world? I don't know, but I love knowing that doTERRA is doing that, and again, helping to uplift the world, and I get to be part of that.
That's super cool.
It is very cool. So any thoughts, Norley? Any questions from anybody that's here? Welcome, Paula. Sorry, we're just about finishing up, but we'll make sure you get the recording.
I just wanted to throw out, I just saw recently they had the Healing Hands Foundation had worked with people in the young women in India, or where they were growing one of the products, and they were having problems on being able to afford their menstruation supplies. And so they went in and gave them a menstruation kit, which is reusable for up to 3 years, so that they didn't have to take time off work where they're out there in the fields or whatever, and go and could be miles and miles to get to a store to buy their supplies. So I thought that was really neat that they were doing something like that. And we don't even think about that, that
right.
it is such a struggle for women in other countries to get those types of things.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like I said, we are very blessed. We take a lot of things for granted, such as clean water, or like you said, personal products and supplies. I mean, there's a whole list of projects that doTERRA has done around the world, hospitals, clinics. Like you could do some research. I thought I had a slide where you could go check out some of these links. Source to You is a good one. Healing Hands has their own website. Co-Impact Sourcing, I believe, has their own. So those are places you can go check out, more about this on your own. But we just felt it was important to share this information so you could see what's happening behind the scenes. It's just, like I said, it allows me to really feel good about the company I represent and using their products.
It's good.
Okay, I think that is it for us. If you're interested in, well, I'll talk more about that next week, a challenge that's coming up, but we're just still learning about it. So I can't really get a lot into it, but yeah, if we have no more questions, no more thoughts, I guess we are done for today. Thank you so much for coming. We so appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend it with us. if you have
Oh,
any questions in the future, make sure you reach out to me or Nora Lee.
okay.
Okay, my friends,
Thanks.
thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.